Well, good morning and welcome to Americo's Agent Training WebEx. I'm the Senior Sales and Training Specialist here at Americo. My name is Stacy Gear. We're so glad that you've joined us today. It's a gorgeous day here in Kansas City. Everything's blue, royal blue for our Royals baseball team, so we're all very excited. I hope the weather's as beautiful where you're at. We've got an excellent, great topic to cover with you today. I'm very excited to share our topic. We're going to cover with you two very competitive client solutions that you'll be able to use after this presentation, as well as an excellent practice management process that will help you streamline your business. And ultimately, we want to help you reach more clients that are ready to buy. This will help you make more money, and you can do all of this in less time with the topic that we're going to cover for training today. So we're very excited that you could join us for the topic. Now, before we dive into the subject, I just want to, if you're new to Americo, I want to remind you that we do encourage your participation in the agent training. It's more valuable to not only yourself, but for others. If any of the information that I share doesn't make sense, or if you have a question, just go ahead and enter your questions into the chat box, and I'll see if I can address those throughout the presentation, or coordinate any one-on-one support that you may need. If I don't have the answer, I'll make sure that we find someone here at Americo that does have the answer for you. There's also a very short survey at the end of this presentation. It's just 5 questions, and this is an excellent opportunity for you to partner with us here so we can get to know you better and provide you with what you need, sales support, marketing support, to help you grow your business and meet and succeed the goals that you want to achieve. So if you take a moment just to complete that short survey, we value your feedback, and we do look at that, and it's very important. The last thing I want to mention is another Americo advantage that you have the opportunity to reach out to our sales support team. We have some very seasoned representatives that can help you with case design, all of our Americo systems and processes that will help you increase your revenue, make more money, and save you time. So if you want to reach out to them after this presentation, that's one of the first action steps, and their number is 800-231-0801. So why is this such a great time to talk about the subject that we're covering today? Well, we've got a new bonus that's going on right now. So this is great timing for you to take this training. So how the bonus works is for every Eagle Premier Series e-application that is submitted and it goes paid from now through December 15th, in addition to the very competitive commission on this product, you'll receive an additional $50 bonus for every case, and there's no limit. So it's very exciting for you to earn additional money on this competitive client solution that a lot of folks need out there. The other thing I want to mention is after you have 5 paid apps, there's an additional bonus of $100. And as we have on the example on the screen here, on the 5th paid application, the total payout for the bonus would be, for example, $150. And then once you have 10 paid applications, it's $250. And then upon the 15th paid application, up to $350, in addition to that very competitive commission. So another action step after this presentation is, if you don't know what your commission is on this particular product, reach out to your upline or just log in to the agent portal on Americo.com. If you look under your profile, you can now access your commission schedule. And again, our sales support team can help you with that process, because this is a very competitive commission as well. So we're talking about the Eagle Premier Series product today, 2 products. So why offer this client solution? Well, as I mentioned, this is something that your clients not only need, but it's a product solution that they want. It's a final expense product, whole life insurance. The whole life insurance, it provides that guaranteed coverage that's available for every client. So we're going to cover 2 solutions here so every client can qualify. The rates never increase, guaranteed level premiums, and so it really goes a long way. our agents that experience success is when they highlight the guarantees of the product. And the coverage cannot be canceled because of age or because of health. So those are a few of the features that the clients want and need. The other competitive advantage, if you're taking a note to remember or recall, is we have a very unique non-smoker classification. Our non-smoker for the Eagle Premier Series is defined as a person who has not smoked cigarettes or e-cigarettes for at least 12 months prior to the application completion date. So what does that mean? If you've had recent visits, or right now, if you recall maybe meeting with a client that was maybe they chewed tobacco, they were a pipe smoker, let's say they were a cigar smoker, they can qualify for non-smoker rates with our Eagle Premier Series. So that's a very competitive solution for you. So if for example, you have quoted in the past a smoker rate and it was unaffordable for the client, you might want to go ahead and jot the names down of those clients, and then those folks would be good to maybe circle back after this presentation with our sales support team, and maybe we can help you with those cases. So again, if they're a smokeless tobacco, so if they chew tobacco, they're a pipe smoker, cigar smoker, they can still qualify for non-smoker rates. So we can help you with those quotes. Again, today we're talking about two product solutions. We have the Eagle Premier Level. The Level product, we're going to cover all the details. And then if your clients do not qualify for the Eagle Premier Level product, you can quickly transition to the Eagle Premier Guaranteed product that has a graded death benefit so that every client can qualify that you visit with. And the solution provides guaranteed level premiums for both product solutions. So we're going to look at them in more detail here. What's really nice about the Eagle Premier Series is we listen to the field, and what your clients want is, they don't like a lot of, many times they don't want to have add-on charges for riders and that sort of thing. So what's included at no additional cost for the Eagle Premier Level product is the accidental death benefit rider. And this is important. This is a very valuable benefit for clients, especially retirees that are they're traveling more, and they're concerned if they were to pass away by accident. So how this works is with the Eagle Premier Level product, the death benefit would double if the proposed insured were to pass away by an accidental death. And if they were traveling by common carrier, so if they were traveling by, of course, by an airplane or by train, bus, if they were taking a cruise, for example, any type of common carrier where they have purchased a ticket and there is a schedule, and if there was an accident to happen and they pass away, the death benefit actually triples. And again, when you highlight some of these benefits that are included at no additional charge, so when you quote the product, the clients love these options. The Eagle Premier Guaranteed product, how the accidental death benefit provision works is if the client were to pass away during the graded death benefit period, and if the death were by accident, then the full death benefit is paid. So we'll take a look here at both of the product details so that you can have a clear understanding of where this solution can fit for your clients. So on the left-hand side of the screen, we're going to start with the Eagle Premier Level product. So this is for non-smokers. The minimum issue age is 50 to 85 for non-smoker. Then if they are a smoker, it's 50 to 80. There is a companion sale. So this is another, if you're taking notes, competitive advantage that Americo offers, that if you are meeting with a client and let's say they are between the ages of 50 to 85 and they're non-smoker, or and they have a companion, a spouse, or that is maybe significantly younger than they are, if the companion is between 40 and 49, you can still offer their companion the same product, Eagle Premier Level. You don't have to go out and quote a different product, which can be confusing for the clients. They don't, that can cause a lot of problems sometimes, is what we've heard. So this is an opportunity for you to not miss a sale and not confuse the clients. There's a lot of modern family situations out there. So when we say companion, that doesn't necessarily mean spouse. So you've got two sisters living together, for example. It's just when one of the companions is significantly younger. And the good news about that is it's a separate product. They have their own product. It's not a rider, their own policy number. And so we'll share some more details about that in just a moment. The minimum face amount for Eagle Premier Level is $2,000. The maximum is $30,000. There are some state variations. As a follow-up to this presentation, I'll make sure everybody receives a comprehensive agent guide by PDF. And then there's also the prescription guide. There's a worksheet. Just a lot of materials that are helpful to get started. I'll share those by PDF, and then if you want to order hard copies of any of the information, you can definitely, we can talk about that as well. So the Eagle Premier Level is the full death benefit is payable day one, and again, the riders for this particular product solution, they're included at no additional charge. And this is what clients, if you stop and think, well, what is it that the clients want? You now can be the hero and deliver what they want and need. Let's go to the right-hand side and talk about Eagle Premier Guaranteed now. Eagle Premier, so clients that, let's say you have clients that they have some health issues, they don't even want to bother with answering the health questions. They don't have to answer the health questions. You can offer them Eagle Premier Guaranteed right off the bat if they desire. Or if you find out through the field underwriting process that they don't qualify for the level, you can quickly transition and offer them Eagle Premier Guaranteed at the point of sale. The minimum premium for the guaranteed product is $2,000, maximum being $10,000. So now let's cover how the 3-year graded period works. And so let's, for example, if the maximum face amount were selected $10,000, and there are, of course, some state variations with the guaranteed product. Keep that in mind. In year one, if the proposed insured were to pass away, the beneficiary would receive the premium that was paid into the policy plus 5%. In year two, the proposed insured, if they were to pass away, the beneficiary receives return of premium that was paid in plus 10%. On the third anniversary, it's 75% of the face amount, and then by year 4, the death benefit equals 100%, which would be in the example that I shared if they had selected $10,000. And if they had passed away, the proposed insured, and it was traveling by common carrier and passed away by accident, the full $10,000, the full death benefit that is selected would be paid. So those are the details, the product specs. Now let's cover the underwriting. Again, this is another very competitive advantage that you have is with Americo's underwriting on Eagle Premier. I think that you'll find it's a little bit more liberal than maybe what you've experienced. So how it works, let's talk about Eagle Premier Level products. Your client would like to qualify for Eagle Premier Level. So in order to do that, they need to answer all the health questions, need to be answered no, with the exception of the smoker question, if they can be a smoker. They need to be within the height and weight guidelines. There can be no adverse MIB hits from the Medical Information Bureau, so we do go out and we check the MIB, and then we also do a prescription check as well. So that's the underwriting that's going on behind the scenes. And so, for example, if your client says, well, they have no heart problems, they answer all the questions no, but then we go out and we do a prescription check, and we find that the client is taking, for example, let's use Coreg. It can be prescribed maybe for hypertension, or there could be some heart concerns. If when we do the prescription check, we uncover that the doctor that prescribed the drug is a cardiologist, well, then that would be an example of a prescription history concern that doesn't align with how the client answered the questions. So it's important when you do your field underwriting, you sit down, if at all possible, just have those prescription bottles in front of you so that you can use our prescription drug guide, and so you can eliminate any surprises for you or the client. And again, we've got an example here of the underwriting build chart, and it is very, very liberal. I think that you'll find, if we look at maybe an example, someone that is, let's say that they're 5'4", and they can weigh up to 270 pounds. And again, the true, we're very transparent here, and so as long as they are within these guidelines, then they can qualify for Eagle Premier Level. But if they are out of those, if they are way more than that or less than the height and weight build, then you can quickly transition and offer our Eagle Premier Guarantee product. The other very nice competitive advantage that you have here at Americo is we have a lot of tools to offer and to take advantage of. And if you've not already done so, I definitely encourage you to go out and take a look at all of the tools that are available on Americo.com. You can simply log into, you can access at www.americo.com, log into the agent portal, and under products and supplies, you'll find numerous client videos, pre-approach letters, all kinds of tools that are very helpful that are pre-packaged for you. And we've got some examples here, and this is some of the information that I'll share as a PDF and as follow-up to the presentation, and then if you need to order hard copies, you can do so. They're very helpful. So what we're looking at here on the screen now is the Eagle Premier worksheet. So this is just a helpful kind of a fact-finding to collect all the information that you need to submit the Eagle Premier application. And so these are the questions that would need to be, these are the health questions on the right-hand side. And then I have a red arrow where down towards the middle of the screen that is pointing to the additional questions that would be for those applicants that would be, if you have an opportunity for a companion sale. For those younger clients, there are some additional questions, health questions that need to be asked. And so you'll have those questions. And then you also have the various look-back periods. And again, all the questions, with the exception of the smoker question, they need to be answered no to qualify for Eagle Premier Level. Otherwise, you can transition them to Eagle Premier Guarantee. And so this is just a helpful guide to eliminate any delays or surprises. Now let's talk about state availability. Hey, the good news, everyone's been asking, when is this product going to be available in California? So we're so excited that it's now available to sell in California. Where it's not available currently is Mississippi, Virgin Islands, and then the Eagle Premier Guarantee product. There are some other state variations. That would be Arkansas, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, Washington, Pennsylvania, and those are some of the state variations. So now let's talk about the practice management process that will help you reduce applications coming to Americo not in good order. So a way that we can help give you back your valuable time so that you can do what you do best, and that's to be in front of more clients, is to reduce the phone calls that you need to make to Americo to answer questions that we have. So if we don't have the correct state-specific form, if there's a missing form, or if there's on a traditional paper application, if we can't read your handwriting, or if you forgot to, the client didn't sign city and state, or there's a missing blank, those are all the types of things that seem very simple, that can delay the issue process for you. It delays you getting paid. You have to make more phone calls. Sometimes you have to make more phone calls to the client, and maybe even another visit to the client. So we want to reduce all of that for you and give you back valuable time so that you can get paid faster. We pride ourselves here at Americo on speed to issue. We want the automation for this product solution to work for you. So with the e-application process, why we're seeing so much success with it is because there's no need to call for the underwriting decision. So that's what makes it different than our other final expense solution. You don't have to call. There's no paperwork. This is a process that you can use 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if desired. You receive that instant underwriting decision, so you don't have to send in a paper application and wait for something to be approved and the communication to come back to you. Again, no paperwork, no pending business, no amendments to worry about, follow up on, and typically the client will receive their policy within, it's mailed within 1 business day, and then we do pay commissions daily. So this is a way where you can get paid faster if you implement this practice management idea. So to access the e-application process, you need to get started with Sales Connection. Sales Connection is Americo's illustration, quoting software, and business submission system. And it's a web-based application. It works best with a touch screen device when you're doing the e-application process. Just want to make sure that you have a touch screen. We do recommend that your screen be 7 inches or larger if possible, and the reason for that is there's some disclosures that your client needs to sign. They're signing this, we need their authorization to do the MIB and the prescription check, and so in order for your client to read all the information, they need to be able to see that on the screen. So for the e-application process, we also, you need a strong internet connection. So we recommend 3G or 4G. And now we have a couple other system requirements, and if you are an iPad user, now you don't have to necessarily, this e-application can be used on other tablets, but if you are an iPad user, some recommendations would be to go to your settings and tap on the icon, settings icon, and tap on Safari. And then make sure that your pop-up blocker, it needs to be turned off to gray. Then the other suggestion that's helpful is the block cookies option must be set to never or from third parties and advertisers. And because you're going to receive an instant underwriting decision, and we want to make sure that the process works for you and you don't have any issues, system issues. So, okay, the next step in the process would be to log into Sales Connection. You can do that if you go to www.americo.com. There's several ways to log in. You'll see at the top of the screen on the right-hand side, there's a link, an orange link to Sales Connection. And I'm looking in the chat box to see what questions came in, see if I can answer those real quick. Let me go back up here. Okay, can you do the e-app over the phone and do electronic signature with Eagle Premier? Okay, there is a tele-application process as well. And so when I send you the follow-up materials, the Eagle Premier Agent Guide, in the back of the Agent Guide, there's a step-by-step process, not only for the e-application process, but also for the tele-application process. Both of those processes, they provide an instant underwriting decision. One is paper and one is over the telephone. So the one we're covering today is the e-application process. And so if you have additional questions, just let me know regarding that. And there was another question, is Eagle Premier Level product more expensive than the Ultra One product? So if you go out and you're quoting and you're looking at both products, Ultra Protector is our other final expense product, very competitive, a lot of flexibility. So we have some agents that are comfortable, confident, and they're fine with Ultra Protector and with certain client situations. It's really going to depend on what's important to the agent and not to mention what is important to the client. So depending, and some of those, when you're making those choices, it would be, do you need the instant underwriting decision? If it's an instant underwriting decision is more important, then maybe you would lean towards Eagle Premier. The other thing that makes the pricing a little bit different, these two products, they're different. One has the accidental death benefit provision built into it. The other does not. So with Ultra Protector, you can add the accidental death benefit rider as a rider for an additional charge. So there's some flexibility there, and that's why the pricing, you'll notice, is a little bit different. So you can't really compare. They're both different. It's not apples to apples. It kind of depends on your clients, what's important to them, what type of coverage they need. Do they need that accidental death benefit rider, or they do not? Do you need the instant underwriting decision or not, that sort of thing. So hopefully that answers, the pricing will be a little bit different. Also, the underwriting is a little bit different. If you're accustomed to using the Ultra Protector Agent Guide, Underwriting Guide, or the Prescription Guide, you definitely want to only use that if you're writing Ultra Protector. Eagle Premier, you might find that the underwriting is a little bit more liberal. So that's going to make some differences in the pricing as well. So hopefully that answers your question. Great questions there. Thank you. That's what I was meaning. Those questions really help make it more valuable. So you enter your username and password to access Sales Connection. If you've not already set up your account, it's so easy to set up the account. You would just click on Create Account, and you need to enter your agent name, the last 4 of your social. You need to be fully contracted with Americo to access Sales Connection, and we need a valid email address so that we can communicate with you. And so here's an example of where you click on Create New Account. Just follow the simple instructions to set up your account and register. Now, once you have registered your account and you log in, you enter your username and password, this is an example of what we have on the screen of the Agent Portal dashboard. It's very dynamic. It's been enhanced. There's a lot of excellent reporting that makes the case management a lot easier now. On the right-hand side, you have Sales Connection, the desktop version to download, the Sales Connection web version, where you can download is the second. On the right-hand side, I'm looking at the circles. They kind of look like soccer balls, rainbow colored. And so to access Sales Connection web version, that would be the second soccer ball. The last one is the one that we just introduced, and that is Sales Connection, the demo version. And so this is an excellent opportunity for you to go out. If you've not already done so, I encourage you to test drive Sales Connection and the e-application process. That way, if you're confident and comfortable with the traditional app, you can be as confident when you're doing the e-application process. And so this is a way for you to test drive the e-application process on yourself or for a friend or however you want to do it, but you can access that. Now, once you log into Sales Connection, what we're looking at here on the screen is your Sales Connection dashboard. This is an example of your dashboard. This is where you can run an illustration, a quote, you can submit your e-application, and you can also save your cases. Very dynamic. So let's say, for example, if you're using, you don't have access to your laptop, you're using a hotel computer, or, you can always have access to Sales Connection just with your user ID and password, and you can go in there and access the cases that you need, and as well as submit business. So that's the great news. So now we're going to go through, we're going to walk through the process, the easy, less than 12 steps. You can submit an e-application in good order, and you'll experience a faster issue time, higher placement ratios with this process. So the good news is once you enter in your state and the client's age, the system will automatically populate the products that are available. So you would click on Eagle Premier Series and then click on the button on the right-hand side where it says Create. And so now I want to point out a couple things here. When you're in the demo site, up at the top where you see that red arrow on the left-hand side, just always be aware if you're in the demo site or you're in the live site, because we've had some folks that thought that they were taking a live e-application when they were in the demo site, or vice versa. One time I thought I was in the demo site and I was really in the live site, and I was doing a test, a practice run. So I wanted you to see where you could, at the top there where it says demo site, if you're in the live site ready to take a real application, it won't say demo there. Okay, the other good news, this is a fail-proof, goof-proof system. You don't have to, wherever the fields are not yellow, you don't have to enter that information. It's optional. The required fields are highlighted in yellow. On the left-hand side, we're going to look, and it will actually share with us the step-by-step process and won't allow you to move forward to the next step unless we have all the information that is required. And so there's some quality checks with, for example, the bank routing information, and this way it's going to reduce errors for you. So you would just enter your client's information. You would answer the questions, the owner, who's going to be the owner of the policy. Typically, in most cases, it's going to be the insured, but if the owner is someone else, you can enter that information. There's one primary beneficiary that has to be designated. If there's more than one beneficiary, you can add that information. Just keep in mind that the total needs to be, if there's more than one beneficiary, they need to total 100%. And then you just move forward. Another feature, another innovative process that we just introduced that we're very excited about, this helps you with your persistency. We introduced day-of-the-week drafting. And so many times we understand that your clients are on limited income, and what happens is when you set up the bank draft and if the funds aren't there, for example, if they just solely rely on their Social Security income, and what that does is that causes an overdraft, or the policy is taken off the bank draft, and then what happens is the agent has to make phone calls to Americo, phone calls to the client to get things straightened out. So to reduce all of those phone calls and to keep, to help you with your persistency, we you can offer day-of-the-week drafting. So what you can offer your clients, they can choose the day, Monday through Friday, choose the week, the second week of the month, and this is available not only on Eagle Premier, but also Ultra Protector as well. And so this will help reduce those insufficient funds that maybe clients experience just by offering them the day-of-the-week drafting option. So you'll see that question. If you look on the left-hand side, at the top, there's check marks. the check marks that are green are the information that we've entered, and we have completed that step of the process, and we are able to move forward. And you can see where you're at every step of the way to complete the application. And so this is where we ask the question, has the client, the proposed insured, smoked cigarettes within the last 12 months? And you would enter their height and weight. And then there is a question regarding, does your client want the automatic premium loan provision? That would need to be answered. It's highlighted in yellow, and that just means if, for example, the client were to change banks and they forget to tell us that information, and the policy's taken off bank draft, but there's cash value in the policy, so do they want us to take a loan to satisfy the premium to keep the policy in force until, either you or the client catch up and provide us with new bank information? This is just a way to keep the policy from lapsing. If you have any questions about that, just let us know. And then now once you enter all that information, on the right-hand side there's a calculate button. This is a way you can do a quality check. When you hit calculate, it will then populate the premium, and so if this premium matches the premium that you quoted the client, then you can move forward. If for some reason the premium doesn't match, that might be an example where you didn't enter in the face amount correctly. So you could go back and you could change the face amount and check to make sure that you have entered all the information correctly. And so this is just a helpful way to reduce errors. Okay, so now we're at the step where the client needs to sign the authorization, which will allow us to go out and do the Medical Information Bureau and the prescription drug check. So you would click on Sign Authorization, and then you'll see a message box like the one up here at the top of the screen. This is where you hand your tablet, your device, iPad, whatever you're using over to the client. You give control to the client. And if you always click Allow if a pop-up box comes up. If you click Block, the proposed insured will not be able to sign the authorization, and then you have to start the authorization process over. Okay, so the next step of the process, this is an example of the screen where the client needs to agree to sign to the DocuSign. There's a box in the left-hand corner that needs to be checked. Once the proposed insured has agreed to the disclosure, then you would click on Continue, which is the right-hand corner at the top. Then the screen is not grayed out anymore, and this is an example of the disclosure for medical information authorization. Your client is signing this with, we do recommend that you have a stylus pen. They can sign with their finger if needed, but it's just a little bit easier if you have one of those stylus pens. And every step of the way, we point out where the client needs to sign. And it's very simple. If they don't like their signature, they can hit Clear. The Adopt and Sign button is the orange button. You would click, once they do sign, click Adopt and Sign. And then on the right-hand side at the bottom of the page, there's an orange button that says Finish. And as you notice here on the example, the client's signature is now on the document. And then once you click Finish, you can move on to the next step. And so what's happening behind the scenes is we're doing the MIB and prescription check while you are having the client answer the health questions. You might receive a message that states that we're processing. And then the orange button on the right, Initiate Underwriting, you would click on that button to initiate the underwriting process. And so it just takes a few minutes to do as I mentioned, this is an instant underwriting decision. So at the most, very most, it's typically going to be 15 minutes, and you'll know You'll know whether or not your client will qualify for Eagle Premier Level. And then this is an example of the message that you'll receive. It's in the right-hand corner at the top. This tells you that your client does qualify for Eagle Premier Level. That's the great news. You want to see that. And that the underwriting is complete. And then the next question on the e-application is regarding replacement. Replacement is if the user has existing insurance or is replacing another insurance product, you may be required to complete one or more paper replacement forms. We do want to mention that. So if they have existing insurance, you enter that information. If they're not replacing it, then you would not need to, typically you're not going to have to fill out the replacement forms. If they are replacing insurance, then you would need to complete a replacement form. And so in those situations, you want to make sure that you have the state-specific paper replacement form with you in your briefcase so that you can complete that and then send it into Americo. If this next screen is where you would enter their existing carrier, the insurance that they have in force, if that is the case, or if they are going to replace it, you would answer the question. And what's nice about it, you only see, again, I want to remind you, the only information that's required is the yellow highlighted field. The other fields are optional if you have that information readily available. It just makes the application more complete, but for our purposes, all we need is the information that's in the fields that are highlighted in yellow. Okay, so now what we're looking at on the screen here are the health questions with the look-back periods. These are all the health questions that need to be answered no, with the exception of the smoker questions, if they would like to qualify for Eagle Premier Level. If they answer yes to any of these questions, then you can quickly transition to Eagle Premier and offer them Eagle Premier guaranteed products so that every client can qualify for coverage. Okay, so on this next screen, this is the payment information that needs to be entered. And so you need to collect that information, have their bank information ready, their routing number, account number. Once you enter in the routing number, what's nice about the system is the name of the bank will automatically populate. So this does a quality check for you to make sure that you didn't transpose any numbers and you have that correct. If a different name of, a bank comes up with a different name, then you would know that you need to get that corrected. And then once you've entered that information, you can move forward. Okay. Just like a traditional paper application, now if you look on the left-hand side of the page, we're almost to the finish line for submitting an e-application. So it's a very quick process. Again, it's fail-proof, goof-proof. It won't let you move forward unless everything's in good order. This is the agent information that needs to be completed, just like you would have to complete on a traditional paper application. It allows, if there's a split, a commission split, you can enter that information as well. And then once the application has been completed, the proposed insured must sign the application just like they're signing a traditional. So you click on what you'll notice here, the only buttons that are highlighted are the ones that need to be signed. So again, that way you know where you're at every step of the process. So right now we're at the process where the insured needs to sign. It points out, the system points out for the insured where they need to start reading at the top there. They can start reading the information and then have your client review, enter the city and state where they're signing, and what's nice is they highlight that so that it's not forgotten, and then and it actually won't let you move forward. Then your client can sign, and it automatically, the DocuSign populates that information onto the document. You click on the orange Finish button. Then if you want to move forward, you submit the case, and it's now a submitted case for you. If you want to withdraw the case, you can withdraw the case, there's a button on the left-hand side, withdraw the case or submit. And then once the case is submitted, you'll receive a message thanking you for the application and the policy. At the top of the screen, there is a policy number, and typically the policy is going to be mailed within 24 hours. And so that's as easy as it gets. It's so simple. The other nice feature on the left-hand side is the print button. If you click on the print button, and then also there's the illustration and forms tab at the top. If you need to access any of the state-specific forms for your client, those are available. You can actually just click on them and they open up as a PDF. And here's an example of the e-application that we just completed. So this is why it's nice for not only the agent, the client, and for when the business comes here to Americo, because it's all in good order, it's legible, and that's why it streamlines the process, and you can actually experience speed to issue, higher placement ratios with this process. Now, quoting tools, the other action step that I'd like for you to do, if possible, is to bookmark on your phone quote.americo.com if you've not already done so, because that's just a quick way to quote our Eagle Premier or other products. It just allows for a smaller screen size, so if you're in a situation where you don't have your iPad, your laptop, and you want to quote our products, you can easily do so by going to quote.americo.com. So it provides greater mobility, power's in your pocket, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The other process is you can illustrate or quote using Sales Connection. And then again, just to summarize, this is a great opportunity, good time to get started with offering this client solution, very competitive product for your clients and competitive commissions. And then we've got the bonus going on right now that we want to help make sure that you have the opportunity to experience, meet, and exceed all your goals. Let's see if we have some other questions in the chat box that I can answer. Okay, there is a question. Can you do an e-app over the phone and do an electronic signature with Eagle Premier? So e-application is submitting with a tablet. Electronically, you're submitting the business electronically through the internet. We do have the tele-application process, and that process will be shared in the comprehensive agent guide that I'll share with you guys as a follow-up. The tele-application process is not an e-signature. That would be a verbal signature that's collected. So it's a different process than the e-application. But it's a great way to just take the application over the phone. Again, you receive the instant underwriting decision. There's no paperwork. Replacements are not allowed with the tele-application process. Just keep that in mind. Let's see if there's some other questions. So there was a question if you can quote the companion policy. You can go out to quote.americo.com, or you can use Sales Connection to quote the companion policy. Okay, is the e-app and the tele-app a different process? Okay. Eagle Premier is the product, Eagle Premier Series is the product, and then there's two processes to submit the business currently. So you can either submit the business Eagle Premier by e-application, the process that I just covered, submitting it electronically, or we have the tele-application process where you would submit the business verbally over the phone. So they are two different processes. Okay. Currently, the Ultra Protector is not available by e-application. Ultra Protector, you can take a traditional paper application, or you can use our Lisa application. That's if you're an iPad user. Okay, and there is a request to do a demo on the demo site. Do you need a paper replacement form, and can you do it on the e-app? Okay, with the e-application, if your client is replacing their insurance, they can do that, but you'll have to submit the replacement form. That would be a paper form that has to be submitted to us. And so if they're not replacing, if they just have existing insurance, then you would answer the question as it's asked in the e-application. Do they have existing insurance? You answer yes, and you enter that information. You just enter what the carrier name is if you have it. And then, but if they're replacing it, you do need to submit a paper form to us. That is correct. And then if there's a replacement situation, you cannot submit that by tele-app. Tele-app does not allow the replacement. Good question. So since we had someone ask if we could do a quick demo, I just want to point out, I want to go to that real quickly. I know we're running out of time. You guys have some great questions today. Okay, so this is an example that I have on the screen. I hope everybody can see it. This is the dashboard that I shared earlier. The agent portal, once you log into www.americo.com, and then over here on the right-hand side are the rainbow-colored soccer ball-looking circles. So if you wanted to download the desktop version for Sales Connection, that would be the first one. The second one is what you would need to download for the web version to submit an e-application. And then the demo version that I wanted to share, since we had a request, is the last one where you can take a test drive. So this is available for you to go out there and run on yourself and just get fully comfortable and confident, just like you're doing a paper application. I've got a 2-year-old granddaughter that she just amazes me when she uses my phone, and to watch her little fingers maneuver and download applications, and it's crazy. If we're not up to speed, with how to do business, it can really put you behind. So now this is at the top here, we're looking at the demo site. That was the important tip to remember, so you don't do what I did before. And we're going to submit a new e-app. I clicked on e-app, and then you can enter the state, the gender, and then once you enter, see everything's grayed out. The products are grayed out right now until we have the client's age. And so, so then once you enter the age, if I entered somebody that was too young, it wouldn't allow me to offer the Eagle Premier. But since the person is over 50, you click on Eagle Premier, click on Create. And so now we're in the live demo site, and this is what it looks like. And we've only got about 5 minutes here, so I'll see what I can go through with you. So again, wherever the fields are highlighted in yellow, that's the information that we need. And so I'm going to say this agent, oh, this is the insured information. It's Eric Hosmer. Royals are on my mind today, guys, sorry. If the proposed insured is going to be the owner, you would enter that. You'd say yes or no. And so, again, we've enhanced this so it's very dynamic. We'll just say yes. otherwise you would have fields to enter the owner's information. We'll say that Eric lives at 18th and Vine, Kansas City. Here we come. Oh, I'm not spelling right. Oh, one tip I want to mention, how many years has the proposed insured lived at this address? If they have lived there less than 5 years, you need to have their previous address as well. I'm going to put 5 so that it doesn't ask for that. But again, if they lived here 2, then you have to put in more addresses, their previous address. So again, it's a fail-proof system so that you don't forget anything. And then that way Americo doesn't call you and bother you, and then you don't have to call the client back or go out and visit them, and you can see more clients that are ready to buy. So then you just move forward as you enter the information, relationship to the insured. We'll just say self, and then move forward. Beneficiary information, we need to add at least one. And we'll say, 100%. If we were going to have more than one beneficiary, you can split it however you want. I'm going to say I'm going to be the beneficiary of this policy. Relationship to the proposed insured. Let's just say, see, there's a lot of different options here. I'm going to say I'm a friend. You can add a contingent, but it's not required. If it's not in yellow, you don't have to add it, but it is available. Then you can just move forward. So I'm just about out of time, and I apologize that I can't run through the whole process, but that is available for you to go out there and take a test drive. If you need any help with the process, definitely want to reach out to our sales support team. They can help you with our systems, processes, and product solutions. You can reach sales support. Oh, trying to jump around here too fast. At 800-231-0801. You can also email sales support at salessupport@americo.com. Very easy. And just if you do have a minute to take and fill out that survey, that is another way that we can see what it is that's important to you, how we can help you grow your business, and provide you with the marketing sales support that you need. We've got some great training coming up next week, Americo A to Z, so we'll cover, all the things that are new at Americo, a lot of exciting things always going on here. Then on October 15th, we've got mortgage protection to meet clients' needs. And then lastly, if you want to access any of the recorded trainings, you can go out to Americo.com, and at the top of on the dashboard, there's a button that's called Resource Center. Just click on Resource Center, then click on Online Training Recordings, and there's a whole menu of different subjects, and that way you can listen to them at your convenience, whatever topic that's important to you, and that's available as well. So again, we want to thank you for your time today, as well as your valued business, and we look forward to helping you with all your cases.